Just the look of it brings tears to the eyes. Standing in front of a huge crowd, their faces beam as they accept the awards they have worked all year to attain. The excitement of the national tournaments extends beyond the competition and awards. Each year, there is countless preparation for some of the most prestigious tournaments. The National Forensic Association, or NFA, and the American Forensic Association, or AFA, and many, many more. Schools offer their best competition, and when all the work is over, are left with the satisfaction of a job well done, and relief to finally take a break. Well, however, the environment is offered no such break. Each national tournament has a huge negative impact on the environment. So why do we have so many? Right now, there are so many national tournaments, including the National Comprehensive Tournament I'm competing in right now, that no one can truly claim to be the national champion. So why not combine tournaments? Well, that's not a bad idea. We must combine the National Forensic Association and American Forensic Association national tournaments in order to significantly reduce the harmful effects on our environment. To reduce the amount of pollution, waste, and damaging effects on our environment, we need to understand the problems these tournaments pose and examine the causes and effects before realizing that we must combine the two national tournaments closest in philosophy, the National Forensic Association and the American Forensic Association tournaments. So what exactly do these tournaments offer the environment? Nothing but negatives. After each of these national tournaments, we leave behind a huge footprint on the environment. And when all the excitement is over, our environment is forced to handle waste, from plastics and paper to increased amounts of carbon dioxide in the air, even to the energy used to light up this very room. Tournaments on a national level leave all this and more, using a staggering amount of paper for ballots and schematics, plastic water bottles, napkins, and paper plates for foods. Just think of hundreds of people gathered together in one place for a week, and that pretty much answers your question. The competitors deplete natural resources that would not be as greatly affected if there were only fewer tournaments. But it's not just paper and plastics. Transportation poses an immense threat to the delicate balance of the atmosphere. The planes, trains, and buses we use to get to the tournaments release additional toxins into the air, polluting the atmosphere with unnecessary CO2. Finally, we use up energy, another natural resource, lighting the buildings used for competition over the course of a weekend, when classes normally aren't in session. Furthermore, we use heaters or air conditioning units, which are usually turned off over the weekends, spending even more energy that would not even be used in the first place. Take all of this waste and multiply it by 3 national tournaments, and we get one huge, disgusting mess. All this extra energy and trash clogs the environment, leaving future competitors an even greater problem than we face today. We must stop a problem that logically shouldn't even exist in the first place. So what causes all this damage to the environment? Simply put, we have too many national tournaments. The number of tournaments affects the legitimacy of the national title. And when these teams compete at all 3 national tournaments, they're competing for a similar prize, national champion. Even if they win the tournament, they can't truly be considered national champion Because different teams compete for the same prize and each win a different tournament. Therefore, each tournament holds less and less validity. This applies to both sweepstakes and to individual events. Additionally, a team will drain generous amounts of physical energy attending each tournament. They first attend the American Forensic Association tournament, and a week later, head on to the National Forensic Association tournament. The teams are worn out and can't compete at their highest level, which results in a lack of quality competition. We all miss out, judges and competitors alike. So how do we stop this duplication and bring the significance back to national competition? Well, I propose that we combine the two national tournaments closest in philosophy, the National Forensic Association tournament and the American Forensic Association tournament. This proposition is threefold. Coordinate schedules to allow a joint tournament. Second, modify the qualifications to combine each league's philosophy and goal. And third, decrease entry fees to encourage teams to participate. But first, in order to merge these two tournaments, they must be scheduled during the same week. Coordinating schedules so the tournament falls at the same time is the first step to limiting the waste stemming from a duplication of the exact same tournament. Combining these tournaments is a simple and an easy way to eliminate pollution, energy, waste, and damage. Because we are curbing plastic and paper use, energy, and transportation. Instead of scheduling NFA a week after AFA, we can push NFA a week back, or AFA a week ahead. And because both tournaments are run by the same people, this shouldn't pose much of a problem. Next, we must modify the qualifications to reach a happy medium between both NFA and AFA philosophy. Right now, in order to qualify events to compete in NFA, the event must simply break to finals. For AFA, it's a bit more complicated. The event must break into the top 3 placings 4 different times in order to receive its legs. But it's as simple as reaching a compromise. We can decrease the number of legs from 4 to 2, thus blending the ideologies of both tournaments with a 50% cut. With a similar standard, the qualifications now apply for one national tournament. This not only aids merging the tournaments, but also limits the amount of transportation necessary to qualify the events. Eliminating district qualifications is yet another way to effectively limit transportation. In return, the joint tournament will soften the blow on the environment. Finally, we must decrease entry fees for this national tournament to encourage teams to support and attend the joint venture. Decreasing fees will allow smaller schools to compete, providing an array of good competition. Simplification dramatically breaks down waste and duplication. Thus, the tournament not only prevents damage to the environment, but also provides better competition and produces a true national champion. Today, we open our eyes to a duplication that puts huge pressure on the environment, discovered what caused it, and learn how we can take personal action to take a simple step to solve it. Combining NFA and AFA will not eliminate all the damage, but it will drastically reduce the negative impact caused by an unnecessary number of national tournaments. Yes, huge problems call for massive effort, but as President Kennedy said, we do this not because it's easy, but because it's hard, and because it's right. If we take action now, we can do our part to save the environment, one tournament at a time.